this the beginning of the end? Probably, and we'll talk a little bit later about what the end to COVID actually is and what it isn't. But I think we're going to have a good summer, and so does the CDC. Actually, paper came out with them yesterday. With 4 scenarios based on how many people get vaccinated and how many people continue to do social distancing and mask wearing. And all of the scenarios look good for the summer. In fact, the best ones, if 90% get vaccinated and we all still do what we're supposed to do, the number of deaths will be down to 2 digits across the U.S. by the end of the summer. So how's that for an incentive to get vaccinated? Apparently some workplaces in the area are not requiring their employees to wear masks anymore if they've been vaccinated. Just a few words of caution about that, actually. How do you know your fellow employees have been vaccinated or not? Are you going to ask them? And is it appropriate to ask somebody if they've been vaccinated? Because really, it's private health information, right? And so asking somebody whether they've been vaccinated or not, so you know whether you can wear a mask or not, is kind of puts them on the spot, and may not be appropriate. So workplaces need to know that and understand that. And actually, workplaces should talk to their HR people and their HR consultants. But most of your HR people will tell you that it's not legal for an employer to ask their employees if they've been vaccinated or not. And it gets into the American for Disability Acts and all sorts of other things that the lawyers talk about. But if you're in a workplace, you may want to get some expert advice before you do that. So here in Forsyth County, how many people have gotten it? Roughly about 45% of our county has been fully vaccinated of the people who are over the age of 18. 45%, that's not even half. Now if you go into the population that's over 65, it's just under 70%, so it's much better. But our younger ages, younger as in between the ages of 16 to 30, are not getting vaccinated nearly as much as the older people. Even though I'm really pleased with 45% fully vaccinated of our over 18 here. And by the way, it's not much different across the country. We still got a ways to go, what I'm afraid is that we're not going to get much above half for being fully vaccinated, maybe 60%, and that's just not enough for us from a community standpoint or a public health standpoint, and so. We're just going to have to keep at it. There's a lot of reasons for people to not want to get vaccinated. One is true hesitancy. In other words, well, I'm worried. I'm worried that the shot's not been tested. I'm worried that we haven't had enough time to see if there's really side effects. I'm worried about the J&J shot with the blood clots. I understand concern, and I'm not worried about these shots, and I think now that with the 125 million people in the United States who've gotten a COVID vaccine, that's pretty good. We are counting, we are registering everyone, and we know about all of the adverse events that people might have. Yeah, there's some expected reactions. You'll be a little sore. You might get a fever afterwards. A few people get some rashes that come and go pretty quick afterwards. A few people have had some allergic responses, a small number. Serious allergic responses has been less than 1 in a million.